The faces, their stories. 10 years later. Good evening, I'm Donna Britt.
And I'm Greg Merriweather, and this is Life Beyond Katrina. Donna, as you know, so much has changed in the last decade since Katrina. Katrina touched Louisiana in so many ways, of course New Orleans, but also right here in Baton Rouge. Now the impact, that's what we're going to show you now. If you were with us 10 years ago, chances are you have memories of the effects of Katrina, but are some of those still with you today? Going through Katrina, and does that come back to you when we get to these anniversaries?
I can't believe it's been 10 years. I remember it like it was yesterday, sitting on the bridge for 13 hours, not knowing if we were going to be able to, live or die. It was just, brings back a lot of memories.
30 years at sea, you see a lot of different stuff. You know, I was in typhoons, and so I didn't figure a hurricane would be too much, you know. Oh no, there were 4 houses over there. Now they're gone, all 4 of them. Oh, man.
Waves crashed against the second floor door.
Next time, leave, stupid. I don't even think I saved my golf club. All I can do is sit and watch it come in now. I was thinking about putting a movie in a bag, and throwing it over the side, you know. Maybe somebody would find it, you know.
And you know, many of Katrina's tiniest victims ended up right here at Women's Hospital.
On this helipad at the old Women's Campus, where babies began arriving from every New Orleans hospital, some critical. The size of the NICU more than doubled in just 5 days, from 50 babies to 120.
We got about 15 babies from one hospital that came with 1 page with their name and a 1-line diagnosis. Some babies came with no charts, just their ID bracelets.
Some of the moms that got off the helicopter that had delivered in New Orleans, they had nothing. Like they would have like their hospital gown on, no purse, nothing, and they just had a baby.
The guard called and asked, could we come down and install one of our remote weather stations at the airport? So we in fact did that, and then we had to put the linkage up into the tower, so that the aircraft controllers could see the information. And while we were up in the tower, that's when I really got the perspective of what was going on. And we're up in this tower, and I'm looking down on the airfield there, and it's like hornets of helicopters taking off and landing. And then you look to the south, towards the city, and it was 2 lines. Inbound and outbound helicopters. And to see that many in the air, and literally 2 trains, 1 inbound, 1 outbound. And it really kind of helped put, for me, a sense of what was happening in the city.
He was just holding his baby up, and he was saying, "Governor, my baby hasn't bathed in 3 days. Governor, you know, I need to have food for my baby." And, you know, and I said, we're going to get you to safety. We're going to get you out of here. And, you know, but we're going to bring in supplies in the meantime.
In 4 days, Doug and Drew rescued 1,140 people.
I was writing down everybody's name in case my boat went down. Of course, I was overloading. My sides were very low. And if my boat would have sunk, then I could have gave some explanation to whom was in my boat. So that's how we came up with the number of 1,140 people.
New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin issued certificates to Doug and Drew, recognizing their heroic efforts.
That's right.
3 years later, Doug and Drew shared their stories with the world in a book titled An Airboat on the Streets of New Orleans.
I remember this. This is Earhart Express.
That's right. And I brought a bunch of these people here to higher ground.
Some people thought, oh, just write it off. But it's such a gateway, and there's no other city like it in the country.
So the city, house by house, person by person, recovers, all with their own memories of the way it was.
It looks the same. You know.
Does it?
Yeah. Things have gotten a little bit older looking, but it's the same.
You talking about me? Older certainly, wiser hopefully, but all of us bearing a scar from Katrina.